Hello everyone, it's Mahdi, and I'm here joined with Mark Lewis, who is an amazing...
You couldn't remember, could you?
Yeah,
my
memory
name.
in my old age. Mark Lewis is a very well-known magician and pitchman from the UK. From which part of the UK? England?
No.
Wales?
Let me think. I can't remember. Just let me think.
Ireland.
Yeah, there's two... Hang on, let me take it one at a time. I'm Scottish.
You're Scottish?
No.
You're actually Scottish?
I'm from Glasgow in Scotland. Then I moved to London, England.
Okay.
I was there for a while. Then I went up north to Blackpool. Then I went somewhere else in Newcastle. I ended up in Dublin, and I came to Canada, and here I am. And this is a very fascinating interview, I must say. Go on. Well,
okay, so you're from Scotland.
Correct.
And you're very well known for your pitch, which, and the way I found out about it, I mean, I knew you for a while, and I knew that you pitched Svengali decks.
I sell Svengali decks, yeah.
Sell Svengali decks, which is this amazing tool, which when Mark does it, it looks like everybody can do magic, which I don't know if that's the case, but you make it look that way.
Yeah, well, they try it in their own hands, that's part of it.
And Paul Wilson, who came to Toronto not too long ago,
right.
He wanted to meet you because he told me that everybody in the UK was using the pitch that you wrote to sell.
That's correct. There's an American way of doing it, and there's a British way of doing it. I do it the British way, so it's my own routine, you know. But for many, I don't know, 50, 100 years, I don't know, for a long, long time, the Americans have done a completely different pitch, which is not as good.
So what is so great about yours? I mean, obviously it sells more.
Because it's Mark Lewis. What's so great about it? Because I put it
By
together.
the way, guys, get used to this. Mark Lewis is the greatest magician alive or who has ever lived. Which one?
I may be dead soon, but for the moment, yeah. You're talking. You're getting on the right side of me there.
So you are the greatest.
Yeah, well, it's very nice of you to say so, Marty.
I mean, are you the greatest?
Greatest at what?
The greatest at magic.
Well, it's very nice of you to say so. I suppose I am, really.
You are one of the last of the greats, or the last great.
Get on with it. Bloody hell.
So, I don't know. Tell us about the pitch. Tell us about the Svengali deck. Why do you sell Svengali decks?
Why? To make money.
Yeah, but what is it about it that sells rather than selling anything else? I mean, you could sell many things.
Is it? Who's watching this? Magicians?
Anybody's watching.
Well, anybody.
I don't know.
Hope people I've sold them to that aren't watching it. It's a pack of cards. You make them all different. Then you make them all the same, and it's a very spectacular demonstration. And it's been around for many years. I mean, it's been invented by Burling Hull.
Okay.
1909 or something.
And did he give it its name of Svengali deck?
I think he did. I don't know.
Because you know who Svengali is, right?
Something with a hypnotist or something.
Yeah, hypnotist. I always wondered if that was a presentational thing, whether it was originally created as.
It was not called the Svengali deck in the beginning.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't.
Somebody gave it that name, and now nobody. Do people still know Svengali?
What do you mean?
Know the concept of Svengali, like that it's a hypnotist?
I think so, Svengali and Trilby, yeah. The fact there was a Trilby deck as well, which was...
Yeah, a Trilby, yeah.
That's Svengali, Trilby, that's a connection, you know.
Trilby, yeah.
Oddly enough, the pitch, the weird thing is, I mentioned the American way of pitching the cards and the British way, but there's another way, the Canadian way. Did you know? Nobody even knows about the Canadian way. Well, I'll tell you. There was a guy called Joe Stubbard from Canada, and he went to Britain, and he was a Svengali, so he had it his way. So the British way, oddly enough, I don't want to admit it, the British way stems originally from the Canadian way. because Joe Stothard went over to Britain. He got involved with Harry Barron over there. Have you heard of Kmart Magic?
I don't know.
No, there's a company in Britain, they're still going, called Kmart Magic. Okay, and I think it was formed by Harry Barron and Joe Stothard. Okay, and Kay and Ma was because of their wives. Kay Stothard. I think it was Margaret Barron, or maybe it was Mary Barron, or Margaret Barron. Okay. So that's where the Kmart comes from. Kmart. That company's still around, but they're not. Okay, somebody else bought it, and somebody else, so in the end, but it's there. Okay. And Joe Stothard was the Canadian. He came over to Britain, and I saw him work. He was fantastic, by the way.
What was his name?
You've never even heard of him, Joe Stothard.
Joe Stothard.
Joe Stothard, and I saw him when I was 14 at the School Boys and Girls exhibition in London, and he was incredible. He was a pitchman. He sold the cards, and he had the mouse, and he was really good, this guy, and I saw it, and oddly enough, about 10 minutes before, I saw another magician at the same exhibition. He was working for De La Rue, the playing card company, and he was all right, but he wasn't in the Joe Stothard class.
Okay.
And then Stothard went to Australia, made an absolute fortune in Australia with a Svengali deck.
Really?
Made a fantastic amount of money in Australia because they'd never seen it before. And but Harry Barron was associated with Ron McMillan, who built his business up. I've heard of Ron McMillan, actually.
Yeah, yes.
International Magic, and International Magic built their business on the Svengali deck.
I've met Mrs. McMillan.
Oh, she mentioned me.
She mentioned a Mr. McLeod.
Yeah, that's one of my names. Yeah.
Well, we won't get too much into that.
Ronnie McLeod. That's another one of my names.
But let's go back to the mouse, because the mouse is really beautiful, and I think.
Have you seen the mouse?
I've seen you do it on video. I don't think I've seen it live, but on video, and.
Oh, you saw me do it on video?
Yeah.
The Marmaduke the Wonder Mouse. I've even written a book on it.
It's amazing.
If anybody wants to buy my book on the mouse, please do so. It's my worst selling product.
I'll put
$20 it is.
It is worth every. I haven't read it, but I'm telling you, from what I've seen, it's worth every penny. I'll put the link down, and you guys can check it out.
I'll even give you a free mouse if you.
Mark Lewis will give you a free mouse if you buy it.
They don't know. How do they know where to buy it?
Well, I'll put the link. They'll know.
All right, very good. Problem solved.
It is amazing. And do you do that when you're selling Svengalis?
Not always. Sometimes I do it.
Is it just to draw people in? Or what
No. No, because I use it as what we call a lump up.
A lump up.
A lump up. You don't.
We have no idea.
No idea what a lump up is. Magicians don't.
Educate us, Mark.
A lump up is where you lump up the punters. You lump. Oh, I don't. Look, I forgot. It's where you give extra free gifts.
You give free gifts.
Yeah, they're not really free.
To inflate the value.
When you buy the cards, you get your instructions with it. 25 tricks, easy to work. No skill required. Sold with a money-back guarantee, providing you can find me. Now, when you buy the cards, we give you the 3 cartridges. It's another one part of the lump up, free of all charge. Not only do you get that, and that. Remember Marmaduke the Wonder Mouse? Right? You buy the cards, I'll give you the magic mouse free, but hold your money. Because not only do you get that, and that, because I'm kind, and only because I'm kind, I'll also give you a lucky playing card, which will bring you luck. When you go to bed tonight, put this card underneath your pillow and make a wish. And I guarantee that when you wake up tomorrow morning, that card will still be underneath your pillow. $10 the whole jolly lot. And then they get the money out if you're lucky. But that's what a lump up is. Part of the extra stuff. You start saying the cards are $10, right? Then you lump them up with a whole bunch of other crap. Quality merchandise.
Quality, extremely high quality merchandise.
It's only for buying and selling.
Wow.
The tricks don't have to work.
Yeah.
I protect the secrets of magic by making my instructions quite incomprehensible.
Let's talk about that, because many times you're selling stuff and you do it so well. You do the Svengali deck so well. You do that trick with is it a pencil and the
spooky pencil?
The spooky pencil.
When I run out of mice, I change it for the pencil.
Okay.
It's bookie pencil. As a matter of fact, the pencil is part of the mouse demonstration. So if I don't have, and sometimes the pencil is better than the mouse because it's quicker. So the mouse is maybe a minute and a half demonstration, maybe, where the pencil is only a few seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So take up less time, and pencils are usually cheaper than mice. So, but I'll do both. If I've got mice, I'll do the mouse. And sometimes, in fact, a lot of the time, I don't have the mice. This thing, I'm puzzled by this camera. It's looking at you, but does it see me as well?
It should be seeing you, Mark.
It's not what a clever thing. What a clever.
I mean, it's why it's.
So I believe you. What? I forget what the hell I was talking about.
You're talking about the pencil and whether you do the pencil or the mouse. Anyways,
the worm. That's what I'm going to tell you about the worm. If I don't have the mouse, okay. It's very difficult to do the mouse and the worm together because you've got threads all tangled up, you see.
Okay.
So sometimes I will not have the mouse at all, or the pencil, and I'll just do the worm, or the squirrel who jumps in and out of the glass. It's a spectacular thing, and that can take a lot of money on its own.
Yeah.
That you can actually. I've often gone to places where there's no cards, no other product, just a squirrel or just a worm.
Wow.
That can take just as much money as the cards, sometimes more.
Wow.
If a place is busy, the worm is better. If a place is a bit quieter, the cards are better.
Is it because you can get more into the routine with the cards?
If it's quiet, if a place is quieter, the cards draw. It's a longer demonstration.
Yeah.
It's
less visual because it's
less visual, but it gathers a crowd because it's a longer. They're staying. If you only got a worm, if it's quiet, they'll be there for like 10 seconds and walk on. You know.
Yeah.
Most places I'm doing the worm and the cards. I do the worm.
That's very interesting. How long is the Svengali demonstration usually?
It depends on what I've got. What kind of quality people I got in front of me, you know. If they're standing there looking like that, and they're, I try not to be racial, but Pakistanis and Indians and Chinese never bloody buy anything, and people from Yorkshire, by the way, right?
People from Yorkshire. And how about Blackpool?
Well, they're awful. I sold a lot of cars in Blackpool. Oh my God, they're horrific in Blackpool. The punters in Blackpool, God, they make Canadians look intelligent. They are as thick as awful. They're awful. Other to take a card, you see, and they're stupid. But sometimes in Blackpool you go to the Glasgow Fortnight, you do well because all the people from Scotland come down, they spend money. But I forget what your question was. Something about.
We were talking about. How long was the demonstration?
Well, it depends on. I'll cut a demonstration very short if I'm not satisfied with the quality of the people in front of me. I can see they're not getting the money out. If I'm still a performer at heart, so if they're all laughing and I might go on a bit longer because I like all the it lessens the strain.
Yeah.
Some Svengalis or decks is not. I'm always amazed, I'm astonished at the amount of stupid magicians that say, "Oh, we'd love to pitch Svengali. Oh, we'd love to sell Svengali deck." They must be mad. They must be absolutely out of their brains.
Why?
Because it's horrible. It's horrific. It's very hard work. You're dealing with lots of stupid people.
I believe you. Yeah.
What?
I believe you.
And it's.
They cannot even handle regular hecklers. How are they going to sell?
It's not just even hecklers. It's hard. You're doing the same trick all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's better if they heckle you. It relieves the boredom. When they're staring at you like that, and they go through the whole thing. Would you like a pack, sir? They say no. So it's not easy work. I'll just put it that way. The only thing worse than that is psychic fairs, but that's another story. I have to do the Svengali deck at psychic fairs for relaxation. That's another fair. But what's that noise? Are they coming to look for us?
The cops are on the way. We talked about Svengalis a little bit. I want to ask.
Is it on now?
Yeah, it's on. I want to ask you about showmanship, performing magic.
I'll talk about magic, yeah.
How do you make your magic better? Like, how do you approach creating a presentation? Where do you learn this stuff?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Let me think. It's very important, by the way. It's a very important question.
I mean,
it's a hard one to answer.
Well, it's one of the things.
The question's very important.
It's one of the things.
The answer might not be so important.
So you always joke to me about, Maddie learned how to speak.
Yes, very important.
How important is it to get the words right to what you're doing?
That is really important. Really, if you're. I mean, there are, of course, some acts where you don't speak, like silent acts, and I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
Music acts and stuff. You're doing stuff to music. But generally speaking, if you're doing close-up magic or on the stage, a lot of the time you're going to have to talk. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you about. I don't consider myself any particular expert on a cabaret floor on the stand-up. I can do it, but I can tell you about close-up magic.
Okay.
It's absolutely vital that you present, that you talk in an interesting manner. Now, some magicians talk too much. You can talk too much as well as too little.
Without naming names, because we don't want to get in trouble, what are some bad habits that you've seen throughout the years that
make me shudder?
That make you that make you want to hop on the boat back to England?
90% of magicians are awful. They're given praise and glory, a lot of them, where I don't see it, because a lot of them over-present. They talk too much. Okay. Yep. They get overexcited, and they're taking away from the trick itself, because they are being too bombastic, or they're too excitable, or they're talking too much, and they think in their head, this is showmanship. It's not showmanship. A good window, see that window there? It doesn't draw attention to itself. It doesn't say, "Hi everybody, I have a wonderful window." It just lets the light in. So you let the light in, but you don't want to be boring either. You don't want to. You can go to the other extreme and be mumble and and ah. You've got to be a bit fluent, unless you're umming and ahhing deliberately. I sometimes do that. But some of them go over the top. And I'll tell you another thing which makes me cringe. You got me started now. A lot of these awful magicians, quote unquote magicians, they talk for like 2 minutes before the bloody trick starts. Yeah. Yakety, 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 yak. When's the bleeding trick going to start? Get on with it. They think this is showmanship. They read in the book something about framing the Paul Pacific. I mustn't mention his name. But Paul says it's because he likes to wind me up and play devil's advocate. He says it's framing the effect. I said no, it's framing the boredom. People don't want to sit there like, when's he going to start the bleeding trick? You should, if they say show me a trick, you go or you start. You get on with it. You can't go saying, tell them the story about the Snow White and the 7 dwarfs and blah 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 blah, and then 10 minutes later talking about the 7 card trick instead of the 7 dwarf. Anyway, I'm in a bad mood now. You put me in a bad mood.
So, when you open a set or you're doing an effect, how quickly do you think the effect should be done? Like they've never seen you perform. Somebody's seen you do something.
It depends on what are we talking about. We're talking about an impromptu performance or set stage. I can tell you about impromptu.
Yeah, let's talk about both. Let's start with impromptu, and then let's talk about like more of a cabaret stage.
If it's impromptu work, you have to judge the mood of the people, right, that are around. You sense the mood, and your procedure depends on what you sense. Magic is people. It's not tricks. It's not sleight of hand. You manipulate the people, not the props, not the cards. So you suss the audience. Now there's a quiet atmosphere, like something a bit like this now, not with very little noise around. Okay, especially music. Let's assume it's okay now with the music, but I'm trying. My brain's. I've lost my brain. My brains are coming back.
I've lost my brain now.
No, but my brains are back now. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, the mood. Yeah, I'm getting old now, so I forget things. What was I talking about?
You're talking about
the mood.
Perceiving the mood.
So let's assume it's nice and quiet, no music like this. Then it would be a mistake to do something quick, flashy, bang, bang, crash, whatever. You do something a little slower, poker player's picnic maybe, or something a little slower, because you've got the attention. It's a nice, quiet atmosphere. You do that, and then you judge. If it's a little bit noisy and there's boisterous, a few people, then you go and do something quick. You know, a quick trick. Maybe ambitious card routine, but also I don't know. One thing's very important, no matter what trick you do, you've got to find some way of bringing the people into it. The magic is people. You've got people in front of you, and there's always a way to bring somebody into a trick. Always a way. There might be a trick where you think, well, you don't need anybody for this, like, I don't know, color changing knives. You know, because you don't need the people. But you can find a way to, you say, blow on the knife or something, or you ask them a question. Got to bring people into it. If you, a lot of magicians are just doing it for themselves, you know, and hoping that the people will react. But that's no good. You got to interact with the people. Magic is people, and if you can, what a very important thing is if you can judge the people that you're working to, suss them out. Is this fella going to heckle me? Is this a nice person? Is this shy, this person? Is this person a little bit negative, doesn't really want to see any magic, right? Then you have to work on that person and win them over. But you can't win them over if you're not aware of that they're not that interested in the first place, you know? So you watch the people, you watch their faces, sometimes it might, I explain about sometimes I appear to be not watching their faces, because sometimes eye contact is not a good thing. You know, there's a saying, oh, have eye contact with the people. Yeah, on the stage, yeah. Sometimes you're doing close-up impromptu. You don't want to be too, it's hard. Again, you have to judge it. Sometimes eye contact's not a good thing, because some people don't want to be looked at. I don't like if anybody looks at me, you know.
Do you generally, not for every case, but do you generally look at where the magic is happening when it's happening?
I'm looking at what they're looking at. If they're looking down there, I look down there.
Yeah, but like at the magic moment, like let's say
magic
you're doing
moment. I look over the top of my glasses. I'm looking at them. I appear not to be looking at them, but I'm looking at them. You've got to look at them. But sometimes eye contact is fine to a little degree, but I'll tell you what it comes from. It comes from Pitchmen. Pitchmen don't give the people eye contact very much.
Really?
No, we don't like. One pitchman said, somebody said, why do you not look at the people? If I look at them, they'll see how much I hate them. That's what he, but they're looking at they're looking at them, but the people are looking. What's the point of looking at good eye contact? They're not looking at you anyway. They're looking at what you're doing. So, but there are. I tell you when you should never have eye contact, right? And Al Schneider actually mentioned this in his book. Okay, at what you call the magic moment. Okay, the magic moment for a lot of magicians is when they bloody finish a bleeding little show. But anyway, I won't go into that. I'm not a critical person. I forget, what was I talking about? The magic.
You're talking about when not to look at the spectator's
when
eyes.
At the magic moment, because, okay, let me give me a second. Let's assume that you've made, I don't know, you've done a double. I'm making this trick out of the top of my head. You take the six of clubs and you say, put your hand on it.
Okay.
And then you say, did you feel anything?
No.
Turn it over. Now, if I look at you when that's happening, they kind of know that you're expecting a reaction from them. So they may not react because they're not for that particular trick, because they might be expecting you to react. So sometimes if you don't look at them, they feel free to react.
So the pressure's off because
the pressure's off. So
looking.
that's right.
So they can experience it more because they don't have to suppress that emotion.
Right. Now, pitchmen do look at the people at the end of the demonstration because they don't want them to walk away. They daren't walk away while the graph's looking at them. right?
Okay.
You say, so you look at them, because if you don't look at them, they can sneak off.
So you look at it, and then that puts the pressure on them to pay.
Well, they'll look, yeah, it's not so.
Or not to walk
We don't
away.
want them walking away. That's because if one person walks away, the whole bloody crowd will disappear.
But so at the end, when you're looking at them, do they then realize that you hate them, or they just deal with it? And
Oh, they realise that I hate them from the very beginning. But other pitchmen are much nicer than me. They still hate the people, but they pretend not to. But I've become a little calmer in my old age, a little twilight. No, they don't know I hate them quite so much. I can make them laugh. You see, it's easier in Canada because the people aren't quite so. They're like the horrible British, so they're easier. You know, as I've gotten older, I'm a little calmer, and but sometimes I will say things, insult the people. They think I don't mean it. They think I'm joking. I say, okay, you can clear off. We got your money now. And they think I'm joking. They don't really know I mean it.
yeah, you mean it.
What?
I mean,
Of course I mean it. What good? I'm not a bloody magic shop like Jeff Pinsky where you're looking for repeat customers.
of course. So let's end this segment with a funny story. I want to talk to you about one more thing, but let's end this segment. You would tell me a story about a gentleman you knew who always walked down a cemetery. He walked down.
Oh, Morris.
This is one of the funniest stories. If you can tell it.
Well, in Grafton, the Pitchmen.
Yeah.
He wasn't a magic. He was a run-out worker. It's too complicated.
If you don't have to explain his background, just to tell that story of just him walking through why.
Well, run-out workers really hate the public. There's a mock auction, but anyway. He used to go to work every day the long way, and he used to go through the cemetery, you know, the long. And I said, Morris, well, why do you always go through this? I forget what. I said, why do you always walk through the cemetery? He said, it's to make sure my punt. I just happen what did I tell you? He said, I need to visit my punters every day.
To make sure I keep an eye on them.
Yeah, something like that. I want to make sure they're all dead. Or something. He said, I'd like to visit my punters every day, make sure they're all dead. No, grafters. We don't look. Howard Thurston. This is the difference between a magician and a pitchman. We call them grafters in England. Here you call it pitchman. Stupid word, pitchman. The word's grafted. Howard Thurston used to jump up and down before going on stage saying, I love my audience, I love my audience. They make it so possible for you to earn a pleasant living, and I'm so happy. Really, I love them for doing this. Correct attitude if you're a magician. A grafter is different. I hate this vermin that I have to look at every day. They're walking around with my money in their pocket. These horrible people, especially that one there from Yorkshire. So there's a little bit of a different attitude. Magicians and pitchmen are a different breed. There's different mentality. When I'm a magician, I have to be nice and kind, and I don't know what I'm doing, and it's very hard to separate the two when you've been doing it for years on end. You know, when I perform for Lorayne, and I'm quiet, I'm shy, I'm a magician. I'm eccentric. I make them laugh. When I'm a grafter, I'm hard and ruthless, although less ruthless than I used to be. Now I'm, a little kinder. That's through age, but it's a different attitude, and I don't know what else to say about it anyway. You look slightly dumbstruck by all this, but go on. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Mark.
Yes.
What do you find? I mean, who is the best magicians that you've seen growing up, and the guys that you knew growing up who you respected, versus the people who are praised as being the best and all
the best magicians are all dead.
No, but who are? Yeah, but like name some. And who
there's some that I thought were good performers, and there's still a few around. They're either dead or they're nearly dead. Okay, I don't know where to start. Name a branch of magic.
Card magic.
Card magic. Harry Lorayne.
Lorayne. He's alive.
yeah, just about. Right. Harry's great. I think I think he gets unfairly targeted on the internet, but he gets irritated. But anyway, so Harry Lorayne's a very good, wonderful writer. So I like him. And I've only just seen him perform card magic in the last year or so on video. You know, I've never seen it before.
Really?
No, I've never seen him do card
You've
magic.
never seen all the videos and stuff?
Well, no, I've never seen him. No, but I don't. In my day, there was no internet in my day, you know. So where would I have seen him? But I've seen him now, but not live, only on. What I have seen him do years ago was memory stuff. You've seen him do the memory stuff on television?
Yeah.
Incredibly good. So yeah, he's wonderful. I will not say one bad word about Harry Lorayne. Who else is good? Cards. Well, Joe Stubbard. I mentioned Joe Stubbard.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. Only did the Svengali deck, but he was. That was. I'd rather watch Joe Stubbard for 10 minutes doing the Svengali deck than all these other supposed experts that are around nowadays.
How about on stage? How about on stage? Do you ever see any great illusionists? Or
I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen some very good. Ravine.
Ravine, okay.
That was a terrific. I never saw his hypnotism show. Terrific illusion show. Big illusion. I heard he never made any money with it because it's expensive running an illusion show. He'd lose money on it, then make his money back doing the hypnotism show. But it's a fantastic illusion show. I saw the Kiel, the Moscow State Circus. I saw John Calvert doing his show. It's okay. But I thought Sokar Jr. was pretty good. These are the big illusions.
Yeah.
There's some good silent. Cardini was a terrific.
Did you see Cardini?
Not live. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Who was I talking about?
Cardini.
Yeah, he was good. I didn't even. I thought this can be. I saw an advertisement in the TV guide in Britain. Cardini on a magic show. I thought it can't be him. He must have been dead donkeys years ago. It can't be the Cardini. But it bloody well was.
No,
he was old, mind you. But it was.
It was on a British TV show.
Yeah, well, I think it's an American TV show in Britain. I don't know. But it's on British television, and I watched it. And I thought, oh my God, it's a fantastic act. And then other magicians would say, oh no, you never saw him in his prime. That's not like it. You haven't seen anything like Cardini in his prime. But that was pretty good, I thought. Paul Daniel was really on stage. Not so much TV was good, but it was at his best when he did on an actual stage.
Yeah.
You know, I think in his later years it went a bit off. You know, but at his height, he was really sharp, and so he was pretty good.
How about
Gosling was good. Albert Gosling was good. Close-up magicians, there were a few good ones.
Yeah.
They're all dead now.
They're all dead.
Yeah, all dead.
How about mentalists, mind readers, psychics?
Morris Vogel.
Morris Vogel. Did you get to see him live, or?
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I did see him live.
Wow.
He was the best one I've seen. Morris Vogel, and he was a sensational performer.
I only know him from the Houdini seance and the different stuff he published.
He was pretty good. I sat in the audience watching him live, and I can't remember who else. Mentalism can be very boring. It's the best type of magic if it's done well, but the worst type of magic if it's done badly. And it's usually done badly. But the main problem is long-windedness. They all talk too much. Yakety, yakety, yak, 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 yak. But anyway.
Who alive today do you think is doing stuff that's interesting, whether alive
You've been
or
watching Jeff Pinsky's interview with me. You're asking the same bloody question.
No, I haven't seen his interview.
Oh, you've not seen it? On YouTube?
I think I have, but a long time ago.
So what was the question now? Who's alive?
Well, who's alive?
Apart from Mark Lewis that I like.
Who's alive?
He's also nearly dead.
Yeah. Who is alive that,
I like Potassi, by the way.
Who?
Potassi, Paul Potassi.
Okay, yeah.
You've heard of him?
Yeah.
It sounds very vague. He was he was fantastic. Still is pretty good. Live close-up magicians.
Just live anything.
Live magicians.
Psychics, mind readers, illusionists, anything. Anybody who's alive today who is of interest.
Who impresses me. Jesus. There's a couple of young guys. Just to, people think I don't like any young magicians, right? People think that I think they're all awful. They're right. I do think they're all awful. I've seen two. Actually, I've seen more than two. I've seen some Oriental ones, from China or Korea or some bloody place. Somewhere not part of the British Empire. I can't remember where. And they're pretty good. I've seen some of these. They will carry the art of magic forward with a silent, beautiful manipulations but there's a couple I've seen that I do think are quite good, young guys. The fella does a lapping all the time, Jan Fritsch.
Oh, Jan Fritsch, yeah.
I think I like that. I was watching him thinking, I won't like this. He's young and I don't like the look of him. But I did. He was terrific.
He's amazing.
And I tell you another one I like is because he's formed a character. Kyle, is it Eskin? Do you know what that is?
Oh, the young kid who's like very
socially inept.
Yeah, he's very,
I
forget I don't know the word, but he's very
awkward. Apparently awkward.
Yeah.
But he's not awkward at all. It's all put on.
But how far do you think that can carry for a whole evening, or just?
He's not doing a whole evening. He's doing a 15-minute. What was he doing? 15-minute act. I'm not asking him to do a full evening show. He's only on for what, 10, 15. I don't know how long he's on. I thought he was good.
Yeah.
He was good. I wouldn't want to watch Jan Fritsch for a full evening doing this all the time.
Well, yeah. Well, Jan Fritsch, I haven't seen much, but he's working on a show that's all card magic.
Oh, card magic.
Yeah.
Is he talking?
He's talking.
Well, that's right. So I've got something to say about that.
So I don't know when that will be.
No, let me try. That's something. Let me try. You've got me. I do. There's one thing which I have noticed with a lot of, and I'm not talking about this Jan Fritsch. I'm talking about magic generally.
Yeah.
It can be fatal. When I've seen some acts, and they read in a book somewhere, start off with some, or they've gotten in their head. You start off with some silent magic to start with, and then they talk. Right?
Okay.
You've seen a lot of entertainers do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the problem with that. There's a problem with that. And I've seen it innumerable times. I've watched it, I think, they're not bad. This fella's quite good. He's doing his silent act and he's not speaking. I think, I might actually like this fella. I might force myself to, it's not as horrendous as I thought. It might be quite good. Then he stops, then his opening trick's over, and then he talks. And it's always a horrible letdown. Maybe they're not good at talking, I don't know. I've only seen one guy manage to transition from silent to talking. I think if you're going to do a silent act, you're probably best to keep it going right throughout rather than do the whole bloody. But when they start talking, it's not so bad if they're doing a full evening show, and then they put a little bit of silence somewhere in the middle of the show, but it's fun. Next time you watch an act where they have music first and then they talk, the talking's never as good as the.
It's interesting.
That's just my.
I haven't even noticed that. I understand what you mean, though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't.
You think about that. You watch them, and the audience is quite liking it. And then they start to talk, and then it's awful. They've got squeaky voices, or they don't know what they want. Anyway,
do you script?
Script.
Do you script every
word? It's a horrible word.
Say?
The word is patter.
Well, patter.
The word has been patter for the last 1,000 years. All of a sudden, they're calling it scripting.
I don't know what patter means. Patter. I know what it means, but I
mean scripting.
I've never heard of it outside of.
You've never heard of the word patter? What the hell's happened to magic?
No, I've heard of it.
This is something to do with the genie form. I swear it.
Yeah.
Go on the script. That's such a pretentious word. We'll call it patter, call it what you want. We're having an argument about semantics. I'm just old-fashioned. Patter's got the air of the carnival and the, anyway. Grafters call it Fanny, by the way.
Fanny.
That's what we call it. They don't call it Packer script.
Why do they call it Fanny?
How the hell do I bleed in there? I'm not a bloody scientist. Fanny is the word British grafters use. It's probably rhyming slang for along there. I don't know.
Okay, Fanny.
I'm not a university historian. Anyway, let's stop the semantic argument. What was your question about? Call it patter if you will. Call it script if you want. Make you feel better.
I feel much better.
Good.
Where do you go about learning this? Where did you learn to speak the way that you speak?
I read in a book when I was a beginner. I thought all these magicians talk. You're going to say something. I thought I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I had no idea when I could do the tricks just about. But I knew that magicians talk, and I didn't know what I'm supposed to say. I didn't know how to do it. So then I read a little book, Magicians Only by Robert Parrish. You heard of that book?
Is it good?
It's a great book.
Magicians for magicians?
No, hang on. For magicians. It's two books in one. He wrote a book called For Magicians Only, then he wrote another book, I think called The Magician's Handbook, then the publisher combined the two into one book.
Okay.
It's a book before 1954. It's a book before 1954, and it's usually a good book. So he gave advice about what he says. If you don't know what to say,
yeah.
He said, if you don't know what to say what you have to say and nothing more. Leave it at that. But that wasn't quite good, but I liked that.
Yeah.
Then I got a bit of advice about it from Wilfred Johnson, about how you put words together. And there's a book called Mr. Smith's Sleight of Hand, and he explained the best explanation I've seen about patter or scripting is in this, or how to learn it, how to actually, you've got to say something entertaining. This is the system I invented, okay, because I got quite good at chattering. I got a notebook, imagine this is a notebook, it's visual aid, and I'd be sitting, I'll do it now, I'm going to do it now, right now. Let's assume that I wanted it, there's no particular trick, but I've got to figure out pattern. I'll look around now. Camera! I'd write down camera. Then photographic image. Spirit photography. I'm writing just stupid phrases. I'm looking, Union Jack, British way of doing things, right? Table, it would. It wouldn't be, wouldn't, if it wouldn't be, wouldn't, would it? I'd write down, I look up there and pound note, money, I write money. So you got all this pages of crap, stupid little phrases, and then we'll do a right. So I've learned some new trick. I don't know what would be. I can't think of a trick to. I might have 21 card trick. I don't bloody know 21 cards.
Yeah.
Right. I look up through my book, and I don't know, something about photo. And somehow you tie in. I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but you tie in what was in this book and look through the book. Oh, waffle dust. I'll put some waffle dust on the card. That'll make the. So that's how I worked out pattern. You see that like that? That was my method. I don't do that anymore.
But if there's no other options, that's what you recommend people to do. If they don't have a
I'm just saying, I don't. That's the system I used.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked for anybody else. I'm the only one I ever know that ever used it. That helped me. A lot depends on your imagination, how creative. I would imagine somebody that's a good writer would come up with good pattern.
Yeah.
You write it. There's two ways of doing it. It's hard to explain. I don't believe in learning it off by heart. Learning it off by heart is fatal because it's drudgery learning off by heart. Drudgery, and it comes out so scripted.
Yeah.
I won't mention.
Insincere.
I shall bite my tongue and not mention certain people in Toronto who perform like this. But so scripted and every word's in place.
Yeah,
And then what happens if you forget? You get a distraction from it, and you forget.
Yeah, it's inauthentic. You have to. You're like a robot. You have to rewind and then replay the tape.
But the other extreme's no good either. Making it up as you go along is not a good idea either. That's bloody awful too. So you got to have some idea. There are two methods that I know about. One method I don't use, but I'll just explain it. This is explained in Expert Card Technique in the presentation section. That's a fantastic section. There's more wisdom in that. Nobody ever talks about this section of this book. The Expert Card Technique, the back section on presentation, tells you more about showmanship and presentation than anything else you'll ever read. And so this book on card tricks, advanced card magic. And their method of learning Patter was you do write it all out. You write it all out. And you do learn it off by heart, right? And then you put it aside for 2 or 3 days. Then you do it again. Then you recite it again, but the words will not come out the same as it was before.
Yeah.
But it's more. You have a rough idea. It's more flexible. It's more spontaneous. You've forgotten. So that's one way. Some people say. Before you go to bed, or one way of memorizing your script, you write it all out. You look at it before you go to sleep, and then you. Apparently, all the actors you do learn the lines that way. It goes in the subconscious mind. I have no idea. The best way, in my opinion, is what was mentioned by Wilfred Johnson in this book, in Mr. Smith's Guide to Sleight of Hand. But he also gives a good advice on patter there's 2 other books he wrote. One Card Conjuring, one. It's a Dover publication. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And you sit in an armchair, apparently, a comfortable place, and you think of what you should say. You spend a lot of time on this, and you have headings. You don't need the exact words. You get headings of what you're going to say, and you rehearse it a few times. It doesn't matter if it comes out slightly different every time you perform. Get a rough idea. Get a rough idea of what you're going to be saying, and then over a period, over maybe 5 or 6 shows, 7 or 8 shows, you'll be saying the same thing at every show anyway.
Yeah.
When I do a show of performing, I'm doing the same. People think I've learned it off by heart. I didn't. It's just that I've been saying the same thing so long.
Yeah, it's automatic.
It becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it.
So
but you should have something to say.
I think all of this has been really insightful. And before we leave and close this, how can people find you? How can they buy your products, give you money? I mean,
Give me money?
How can they give you money?
And now you've got my interest.
Basically, how can we give you money? I mean, how can they give you money? Not we, but how
I
can
have
they?
a website. I have a website
Called?
Mark Lewis Entertainment.
Mark Lewis.
www.marklewisentertainment.com.
MarkLewisEntertainment.com. I'm going to put everything in the descriptions. And what do you have on their books?
I've got some books for sale. I've got an Amazon. No, I don't make so much money on Amazon.
It's better for them to buy directly through your website.
Oh yes. Go to my website and then I'll get them. I've got Amazon Kindle, but they're stupid Kindle ebooks, which I don't even know what they are. Contact me direct. I've got the book The Lives of a Showman, the Svengali deck book, the Marmaduke, the Wonder Mouse, and I've got all sorts of crap I can sell.
So what I'll do, he will sell you everything you need to be able to sell Svengali decks.
I don't want to. I've got a course of. I actually have a hypnotism course. Which is not on. I've got things on my website which are not.
He has a lot of stuff on his website. We're going to do a whole other episode at another time on all the different stuff because he really does have a lot of stuff. But
I've got some which is not on my website.
For now, check that out, and hopefully in a few weeks or sometime later on, we'll do part 2 of this, and we'll talk to Mark Lewis about all of the other stuff we didn't get to talk about: his psychic readings, his numerology,
stage hypnotism,
and everything. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.
Cheerio. Bye bye. See, I just have to be myself.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, all right.
All right, everybody. I'm here today with Mark
Is it started?
It has started, Mark. Are you? We'll restart.
No, you can, it's all right. I don't mind. Carry on. Carry on.
We'll restart.
All right. Don't need to read. Tell me when it's official.
Okay. We are starting now.
Each day nearer my coffin.